Wait for a few more to get in, guys, before we're doing it in. Has anyone commented yet? There we go. Just a quick live, not staying on long. Get a few more people in, get a few more people in. Oh. We're only getting 6 in. Kieran Styler, yes, Akinwale, Malcolm Salmon. So let a few more people get in, and then we'll drop the news. Oh. I'm not staying on long. I'm tired. I'm ratty. I'll just get a few more people get in. It's here for live. I need to catch up with Cody, man. Reconnecting because I've got the world's worst internet. Strange orange glowing thing behind me is it's up there with UFOs. It's called the sun here in Manchester. Something we don't see much of. Who is she? What's the backstory? I'll explain all. Yes, Jordan. Macclesfield in the house. What a geezer. She knew what she was doing. Wait till we get like 50, 60 or something and then I'll just do it. I'm not staying on long. I've got a banging headache. I'm not long been in. I need to catch up with Coronation Street. I was my saddle. I was out all day yesterday. I'm on these. I love these. Starbucks caramel flavoured frappuccinos. Yeah, man. Darren, that was last night, bro. What's Atwood done to annoy Darren? Not my place to say. I look run down. Do you know what, brother? When you're not sleeping, it's a thing. I'm very tired. Very, very tired. Very tired, not sleeping. And yesterday was just, I didn't really sleep. The other night when I was on with Jordan, and we got really deep and it was emotional and just got deep in it at some next level. That video's done like in excess of 3,000 views already, which is a bit crazy. But yeah, so I didn't sleep that night. Then I woke up. I went straight to Macclesfield. I linked up with, before I went to Macclesfield, I linked up with Cube. Me and Cube went down to Macclesfield. We linked up with, obviously, Jordan. From there, we came away. We had a quick drink in Manchester, in town. We had another quick drink. Then Cube got off. I got home, and then Darren had rang me. So I rang Darren back, and he said, come to see you. Come down, see me. So that was it. So got straight back into Manchester. I've been home 5 minutes, and I was on my way back to Manchester. I linked with Darren. We did a little thing. I didn't know how it was going to play out. I just said, I'll get come up from behind me. He's like, going on, Cody, lad. L5 alive, bro. And yeah, it was only a short one. The thing what I was pissed off with, right, is people were like, oh, yes, Darren. But I wanted people to ask Darren questions. Yeah, man. I wanted to do like a little question and answer session with Darren. But I didn't want me to ask him questions. I wanted you lot to ask him questions. And I should have scheduled it, but I didn't, just in case he said he didn't want to do it. But yeah, hit the like button, people. Good to see you, Cody. There, I'm good. You're doing with a phone with him soon? Yeah, I might do, man. I don't know. Darren's time's precious, you know. Darren's time's precious. He's done a lot of these podcasts. He's done James English, done Sean Atwood. I introduced Darren to Sean, actually. But yeah, I'm not going to go into what he said last night on the live. It's not my place to do so. Darren's his own man. I personally like Sean. But yeah, Darren's wicked, man. Darren's a changed man. 1,000%, brother. It'd be easy for Darren to lose his shit and go back to the old Darren. But no. Darren's, I've got love for Darren. If you've seen on the channel, right, everyone used to ask me about Darren constantly. Darren. And I didn't want to get involved in Darren's shit. So I kept my mouth shut, the fact that I'd met him and he used to live with me and all this crazy stuff, right? So I kept it quiet and I didn't field the questions, right? Then people just mithered me. So I thought, you know what, I want to speak on it. So I spoke and I said, yeah, I support Darren G. I support his message. L5 alive. Choose a life, not a knife. It's a massive campaign. It's not just Liverpool. It started with Darren, obviously born and bred L5er. Liverpool 5 postcode for those that don't know or that are abroad, or zip code as you say in America. But yeah, it's his message. It's an important one. I support it, and got nothing but love and respect for him. And anyway, so what's happening with Laura's case? For anyone that doesn't know, I will give you a brief history. So Laura is a subscriber of mine. Laura chats to people in prisons up and down the country. And Laura is a subscriber. I can't remember how we came into contact with each other, but it happened, and it was just a subscriber. Never met her. So Laura in April, I think it was April last year, was caught taking 2 ounces of cannabis into High Point prison, which is near Ipswich. She's attended to, she was telling me, she told me, she said, I didn't want to go. I tried to back out, all these things, right? She was chatting to a guy in the jail, no names, obviously. She's chatting to a guy in the prison. He starts like, yeah, babe, chatting on. And then he starts asking her about bringing stuff in, right? Next thing, she didn't want this in this regard, but she was picked up from outside the house to go and see somebody in the prison. Now, she wasn't going to be meeting the dealer. Somebody owed the dealer money, I'm assuming, usual prison practice. So what they do, if you're in debt, they say, right, you go and collect a parcel on a visit and get it back here, right? And like your debt will run down, or it'll be cleared depending on the amount and stuff like that of what you're in debt to. So obviously the risk then is very much on the person, the person that's in the dealer's pocket in the prison. Cut a long story short, anyway, she's supposed to meet one kid on the visit. That got changed just 24 hours before, 48 hours before. So she's turning up. She doesn't know who this person is. She's been picked up from a house. She's put in a bra or under her tits, one under each tit or whatever. She's gone to the prison. Now, the prison had intelligence to the effect that they knew that Laura was going to be attending the prison on a visit with a parcel. How did they know this? People can speak on the prison phone, but what is known, and it's common practice in prisons, is sometimes what the dealer does, or the dealer's people, that they'll let it known to a screw that a parcel's coming in with this girl at this date at this time, and then the dealer or the dealer's people end up letting slip that a parcel's going to be coming in with a certain person. You might think, why would they do that? It's their parcel. They're going to cop for it. So, but what it is, it's a distraction device. It's a distraction technique where if you're a prison staff member and you're being told, oh my God, there's someone coming in, you know you're getting to get an arrest, and that's what they live for. The straight screws, not the screws that are bringing contraband in. The straight screws. Like I said, it's a well-known technique that dealers will use a smaller amount of drugs, right? Let it be known that it's this person. So the prison staff have only really got eyes for the person that they're expecting. And then what happens is on the same visit, or on the same time slot, someone else will come in with a parcel that will be much bigger. mobile phones, tobacco, fucking drugs, new psychoactive substances like spice. So the prison caught for a small parcel, but then there's a much bigger parcel coming through at the same time. And the girls that get used, this is happening in prisons up and down the country, and a lot of women are manipulated. A lot of women do it. There's different types of situations. There's women that do it for the money and they know what they're doing. There's other women that are vulnerable, they're naive and they're gullible. They get taken in. It happens. So Laura's gone to the prison, right? She told me she didn't want to do it. She left the bag in this guy's car. She didn't even know who the guy was. Picked her up, taken her to the prison. She's got 2 parcels, which she didn't wrap herself. Under each tip, she goes in. They're expecting her. They're expecting her. This is at HMP High Point. She's in the queue. She's thinking, drug dog's there. Drugs dog's job, sniff out contraband, drugs. The dog signalled on her. The screws were expecting her. They knew. So they said, excuse me, if you've got anything on you shouldn't have. At this point, Laura told me that she produced 2 packages, parcels, wrapped up cling film, compressed, 2 ounces of herbal cannabis. Right. She was then arrested. She was detained in the prison in a waiting room with a female governor. Police attended. She was arrested. On interview, she admitted to what she'd done. She didn't drop names. She was then arrested. It took a long time, and so this was going back to April last year, and it's been dragged on. Anyway, today was a sentencing. Now, when the police found these 2 ounces of cannabis while she was in the police station, they went to her home address, which is in Slough, and they searched the house where she lives with 4 children, 3 dogs, and I think she's got a cat as well. 4 kids and 3 dogs anyway. So they searched the gaff and they found 7.2 grams of amphetamines. She uses it for a mental health or a pick-me-up. So this is what Laura was saying to me. So I was like, okay. Now, Laura mentioned some sums of money had gone into her account. I said, how much are we talking? She went, £800. She said, from my friend, 125 here, 50 quid there, 25 quid there. So I was like, okay. So I was thinking nominal amounts, minors. Right. So today was a sentencing. She pleaded guilty, which means you get a third off. The sentencing guidelines, I don't know what it is. I think it's 2 to 3. I'm not sure. I think it's 2 to 3. They grade everything. Obviously, it was a Class C drug. It was cannabis. It was 2 ounces. She had amphetamine, which is a Class B, at her home address. Now, I told Laura as best as I could. I said, look, get to the doctors. If you've got any health problems, mental health, any history of mental health, get a letter from your doctor. They normally charge about £25. You can get it for free if your doctor's all right, but they're all money motivated. I said, ask your barrister, your solicitor, to try and get a pre-sentence report. Pre-sentence report just like means that the judge can be looking at alternative options to prison. Obviously, when it comes to jail, prison is just one option at the end of the day. So she got a pre-sentence report. She did that on I think it was the 16th. Spoke to a lady, bawled her eyes out, very emotional. No one could have punished Laura more than she punished herself. And even though she's been stupid and naive and gullible, and that's just the truth, I also understand that prisoners are highly manipulative, and like I said, full sympathy for Laura. So anyway, cut long story short, get my words out. So today, Laura's up for sentencing. People that were around her, like there's people on here, Morag and Lily and Mark and Cube and all these good people that have been like sending messages of support, like commenting, how's Laura? Morag spoken to her on the phone. Sean, Clint, all these people that have been giving messages of support to Laura. All the people around Laura, these guys in jail, nowhere to be seen. Right. So today she was up for sentencing. Told her, pack your bag. I said, because of what she told me, I was like, yeah, suspend it. I think plan for the worst, because if you walk into a court thinking I'm going home today, and you get sent to prison, it's going to double. It's going to hit you like a sledgehammer. So I always tell people, plan for the worst. Just prepare for the worst. If you expect the worst and the worst happens, you're prepared as much as you can be. Anything else is a bonus. So Laura appeared this afternoon at Ipswich Crown Court. It played out in court. Like I said, the probation were supporting her, saying, look, we reckon suspended sentence and all this sort of stuff. And because Laura had been through a lot with a previous relationship, which I won't go into, that she should get counselling for that, to deal with her emotions and things like that. And yeah, so probation are like really supportive of her. And then what happens is probation compile a report. They ask Laura questions. I think she was on the phone for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, asking her about her home life, like parents, her background, her upbringing, relationships, money. Is she working? Is she not working? Mental health, why she did it. Are you remorseful? What was the motivation for doing the crime? All these sorts of things, right? Laura was very open and honest and everything. And so probation fully supported it, saying, look, we don't recommend prison. You're a mother, you're a single mother to 4 children. You are bipolar, you do have mental health issues. You are gullible and vulnerable. You're a mother, you've got 4 kids. One of them's got a heart condition. All these crazy things, right? And the judge said to her, like, you're here and you're telling me you've got your character references and everyone's saying you're a good mum and everything and you live for these kids. But if you live for your kids, why did you have 7.2 grams of a class B drug at home in your house where you had children? So you're sitting here like you're the doting mum, like a good mum, right, which she is. But you're acting like your kids are the be all and end all and everything. But you had drugs in your house where your children were present. So I'm just going to tell you straight. So she got sentenced to 10 months, not suspended, custodial. She's in prison. She'll be in prison now. She's been sentenced to 10 months in prison, custodial. And everybody, Morag, I know that you've been supporting her and speaking to her on the phone. I know Sean, I know Clint has, I know Lily has. There's a lot of people that have been sending love for her. Mark as well, Mark Johnson. Great people. But yeah, so with everything taken into consideration, the reason that the judge did it, right, is, and I'm going to go into this, right, I was shocked, but then Lily, who was at court supporting her, explained to me that Laura hadn't been open with us. Apparently, £27,000, right, not benefit money, £27,000 had been through Laura's bank account in the last 2 years. So that in my brain means that she's been doing it she's been doing this for, it wasn't the first time she'd done it. She knew what she was doing. She had been paid previously to go and take the drugs into prison. And this time she got caught. Now, if Laura would have told me, Cody, thousands upon thousands of pounds have gone through my account that I can't answer for because I'm on benefits, right? I would have told her, expect prison. Because she didn't tell me about 27,000, she told me a few £100 there or £800 there, £125 there. And she was like, oh, it was my friend and put 800 in my account and all this stuff. And I was like, right. So I didn't, she's not a sneaky cow. No, I don't agree with that. I don't think she's sneaky. I think that Laura didn't want to admit out loud about the money because she would have been told negative things, right? That, oh, you knew what you was doing. It was a business proposition. That the judge just pretty much said you was work. It was a job. It was work. My heart breaks for her, 1,000%, 1,000%. But the fact she hasn't told me the truth, I'm not mad at her. But I'm disappointed because if she would have told me the truth, I would have told her today she was going to prison. There's a high probability. Because she didn't, I just thought, oh, well, bit of personal use at home, 7.2 grams, not the highest amount. Get away with personal there. When you take into consideration £27,000, right? Lily told me that the barrister came out and explained 27 grand had been through her bank. This is a single mother struggling on benefits, 27 grand through a bank. Right? And I'm not saying that every penny's landed as hers or anything else. Wasn't that she was gullible and she was naive and everything and vulnerable, because she must have done it. I feel sorry for her, but she must have done it before. So it was, if you go to work you get paid. Laura's work became getting parcels into prisons, and her luck run out. Now, like I said, she's a single mother. Yeah, I don't wish this on anybody. 10 months in prison, 5 months custodial. She'll be eligible for tag in a couple of like months. So it's really a shit situation. Her children are with a woman she's like a mother to Laura, but this lady is disabled. Now, if she's living in a house and you've got 4 kids, I think the kids worship this lady and see her like as a grandma. But 4 kids, a mother without her children, she's been sent to prison. She was absolutely hysterical in the court. Lily didn't go into the court. Lily stayed outside. The barrister came out and said, look, 10 months custodial. And then she was like, that's excessive. And she went, then he explained about the money. So if you're looking, if you read between the lines, you've got to think 27 grand, even if £1,000 of that was for smuggling drugs in, right? You've got to think, I don't believe for 1 second that the 27 grand's been hers, but something's going on, right? And on the back of this, because £27,000 in her account, and it's money that she can't explain where it came from, 27 grand's a lot of money. So on the back of her sentence, it's very possible that she could receive a Proceeds of Crime Act order on the back of it. They might say, well, we can prove X amount. So it might be 15 grand, 10 grand, 20 grand. So what could happen is she could actually end up with a longer sentence if she can't pay that money. Like I said, all the information that I'm telling you has come through Lily. Lily is currently watching the live. If you don't know Lily's story, go back through the videos. You'll see Lily very articulate, spoken about. She'd been to prison. I can't remember, I think 6 years, 7 months, and then got topped up with a 15-month Proceeds of Crime Act order where she represented herself, Proceeds of Crime Act hearing. But yeah, this is, it's not good, guys. I'm not getting any satisfaction from it. Lily said to me, I think she was trying, by not admitting the figures, she was trying to convince herself that it was like, you know what I mean? There's no comments on the screen, guys. I don't know if people can still hear me. Hold on, let me just pop this on. Yeah. So Laura said to me, and I don't want to alarm anybody, but Laura said to me, like, I don't know if I could survive prison. She's away from her kids. She said to me the other day, well, not the other day, I've not spoken to her in about 10 days until today, but she said to me about a week and a half ago, she said, if the kids are not here, I feel like I've gone deaf or something. I hate it. I'm used to the hustle and bustle and the noise of the kids and everything. That is sadly going to be replaced with a hustle and bustle of slamming doors and opening doors and what comes with prison. Because of the coronavirus pandemic that we're in the grips of, she will have to self-isolate for 2 weeks. So, and then she'll be fed into then she'll be back amongst it. But she'll have to isolate for 14 days. She's going to HMP Peterborough, it's a male prison, but it's also got a female part as well. They're not integrated, by the way. Males and females are kept completely separate. There'll be a completely separate building for the females. But yeah, this could end up in the paper as well. I hope to God it doesn't. But Laura's dad doesn't even know where she is. Laura's dad does not know. Laura's kept this from she don't have anything to do with the mother, but her dad, she does, but her dad doesn't even know. And this has been going on since April last year. Yeah, Lily's just tried to ring HMP Peterborough, and she's been told to ring back on Monday. So yeah, she's in prison. She'll be sent to HMP Peterborough. I don't have a date of birth, but Laura Jenkins, HMP Peterborough. If anybody wants to write to her, Lily will get me a prison number. Lily's going to try and get in for a visit back end of next week because Lily works and everything. Lily's been through the system. Yeah, it's not a good situation. Four kids away from the mother. It's a HDC, a home detention curfew, and a ROTL date will be the same date, and she'll be eligible. like I said, in a couple of months, but she'll be out in 5. In this time, her benefits will stop. The rent on a house for the kids will stop. So she's going to incur rent arrears. Depending if she's got a private landlord, it can be quite, eviction proceedings can take place, but you've got to think like different people have got different tolerances. Like I said, when I was in prison, I kept hold of my flat. I was very lucky. I'm still paying off rent arrears from when I was in prison. Even though I moved, the rent arrears followed me, and that was because I was in prison. So yeah, that was my situation. But with Laura, you've got 4 kids without a mother. You've got 3 dogs. I don't know where the dogs are. I don't know if the dogs are with this lady. This lady that's taking care of Laura's children actually had an accident. She was hit by a driver and she sustained life-changing injuries where she actually ended up in a wheelchair. And I don't know if this lady's got a 6-bedroom house where the kids can have all their own room. I don't know this. And she's disabled. I think she's got a partner as well. She's got a husband. But taking on 4 children that are all at different ages, the education's going to go down the Swanee school life. It's going to take an effect on Laura. It's going to have an effect on the children. Laura's also got 3 dogs. I don't know what's going to happen to the dogs. I don't know if this lady's in a position to take 3 dogs on. It's a lot to be. Laura doesn't really have a support network. Lily's been there. Morag's been on the phone from Canada. You've had Sean, the machete man in Yorkshire. You've had Clint as well. I think Julie might have been messaging as well. So it's a really bad situation, and I have sympathy for Laura's case, 1,000%. But at the same time, the fact she's hid the money thing from me, like, and all of us, it is. I see why she's done it, but it's frustrating. Really is frustrating. And I literally was, when I came home and I had a missed call from Lily, who'd been down, actually went to court to support her. When I looked at the phone and saw it was Lily that had rang and not Laura, I knew straight away. So, like I said, Laura will have been picked. She was hysterical. No one could punish her more than she punished herself. But the domino effect of this sentence, like I said, some people are not built for prison, and it's a shock to anybody's system. It was a shock to my system, and I was a hardened criminal. Lily's been through the process. A lot of people on the channel have been through the process. It's a sad situation, guys, but if you want to write to her, Laura Jenkins, I don't have a date of birth, but I'm hoping that she's the only Laura Jenkins in the female part of prison, obviously. But Laura Jenkins, HMP Peterborough. I'll type the thingy below. When we get a prison number and stuff like that, we'll let you guys know. People can send postal orders. I don't know if Peterborough do PTS payment. A PTS payment is an electronic payment, but you normally need the prison number in order to do that, if I can remember correctly. But yeah. Right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for Lily for filling me in with the information, because otherwise I wouldn't have known. It's a sad day, guys. It's a shit situation. Some people have sympathy for her. Some people won't. I understand both sides of the argument. I understand she's been stupid and she's been gullible. But then when you put the money... So I'm sympathetic to her 1,000%. And the kids especially. The kids are completely innocent in this. But if these money amounts £27,000 that's been through a bank, it's got to be related to taking contraband into prison. Even if all the money wasn't hers, she's getting paid to go into prisons. And that's where your sympathy sort of goes from sympathy. And when you see the financials of it, you start to swing the other way, because this wasn't a first-time offence. There's no way. She got caught this time, but it's not the first time she's done it. Guys, listen. A lot of people that speak to Laura will obviously be upset. Like I said, I get both sides of the argument and stuff like that. Prisoners are masters of manipulation, but is it really manipulation when you've done it previously and then you get caught and you've got 4 kids at home? Like I said, if it was a first-time offence and she got caught, then you're like sympathetic, sort of thinking, oh, vulnerable, naive, taking in, or the lure of money was too much. But then when you've done it countless times, the risk you was taking, But like I said, when it comes to crime, you've got to look at the pros. You've got to look at does the offence or the monetary value, if it is for money or drugs or whatever it is, you've got to look at the risk versus the reward situation. Anyway, guys, there's been no comments coming up on my screen at all, so I'm going to leave it here. Thank you to Lily for filling me in with the information. When we get more, guys, we'll let you know more. It might end up in Ipswich paper. I hope it doesn't. It's embarrassing, and like I said, I don't want our kids reading that. 4 kids away from the mother. Like I said, she's going to start occurring rent arrears. Laura's mental state. She's used to having them kids there. She lives for the kids. But then you might say, well, if she lives for the kids, then why did she do it? I can't answer that question. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. I'm going to dive off. I need to catch up with Coronation Street. Thank you to Lily. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. I can't see any comments on the screen, so I apologise. I'm not ignoring anybody. Going to leave it there, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll put the Laura's prison address below. When we get the prison number, we'll let you guys know. Cody is out.